The United Nations team sent to inspect the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant in Ukraine is on its way to the site right now. This was the convoy setting off towards the plant a little while ago, but there is still some uncertainty. The head of the regional administration is accusing Russia of shelling the pre-agreed route. And in the last few minutes, one of two operational reactors at the plant has been shut down due to Russian shelling. And that's what the operator, Energoatom, is saying. The nuclear plant, which was taken by Russia in March, sits on the banks of the Dnipro River. Russia is shutting down gas supplies from a major pipeline to Europe for the next 3 days. Moscow has already significantly reduced the amount of gas it supplies through Nordstream 1, which comes into the continent via Germany. A Kremlin spokesman blamed Western sanctions against Russia, which he claimed prevented normal repair work.
Russia has already reduced drastically and at times has already stopped delivery of gas via this one remaining major pipeline to Germany. This time it's supposed to be just for 3 days. Russia says it's because of repair work needed, connected to sanctions, but the German government says this is the Kremlin simply using gas as a weapon.
Now, for the next 7 days, Russia will undertake massive military drills along with troops of at least 12 countries, including China and India. The drills mark increasingly close defense ties between Moscow and Beijing. The week-long exercises, which began today, set to end on the 7th of September, and it comes amid simmering tensions with the West over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. On your screens right now are visuals of the opening ceremony released by the Russian Defense Ministry. The exercises are to be held at 7 firing ranges in Russia's far east and the Sea of Japan, would involve more than 50,000 troops here.
Airstrikes are underway at this hour over Damascus. Some missiles have reportedly been intercepted. Loud explosions have also been heard in Aleppo near the international airport. Claims that Iranian warehouses near the airport of Aleppo have been hit. A Syrian military source is blaming Israel for the airstrikes.
US officials have ordered Nvidia to stop exporting 2 top computing chips used in artificial intelligence to China. The chip designer disclosed the ban in a regulatory filing on Wednesday. It's a move that could hamstring Chinese firms' ability to carry out advanced work like image recognition and cost Nvidia hundreds of millions of dollars in business. The order affects its A100 and H100 chips, designed to speed up machine learning tasks. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang, a Taiwanese-American, had just unveiled the H100 as the firm's new flagship chip this spring. Now the company says the ban could interfere with the completion of its development.
The UN says China may be guilty of crimes against humanity in its treatment of Uyghur Muslims. Michelle Bachelet, the UN's outgoing human rights chief, made the claim in a long-delayed report released on Wednesday. In May, Bachelet visited Xinjiang in China's northwest, which is home to around 10 million Uyghurs, a mainly Muslim ethnic minority. The lengthy report said, quote, serious human rights violations have been committed in the province. It says allegations of arbitrary detention and forced medical treatment of Uyghurs are all credible. The UN is calling on Beijing to immediately release all those detained in training centres, prisons or detention facilities.
South African Paralympic champion Oscar Pistorius, sentenced to 13 years in prison for the 2013 murder of his girlfriend, has asked the courts to consider his application for parole. The former athlete, who is an amputee below the knees, served more than half his sentence in July, making him eligible for early release. Pistorius had met with River Steenkamp's parents as part of the procedure.
Well, we won't tell you exactly what's on it, but it does have 4 different layers of encoding or encryption, each layer getting progressively more difficult, which we saw as a parallel to our history, if you like. So back in World War II, which was where the Australian Signals Directorate was born from, our people, military and civilian, and mostly women, as a matter of fact, during the Second World War, used pencil and paper to decode Japanese military codes and then re-encode them to send them out to the Allies to let them know where Japanese warfighters were. We have used that part of our history in different layers which represent the progress of encryption and technology through our 75 years.